Stevie, it didn't work out and they're a bit unlucky, and it's Donegal who now move forward. So I suppose you could say mid-term report for Donegal, done okay but could do a lot better. In fact, to play Dublin, they're going to have to do an awful lot better.
There's no doubt about it. Donegal have made remarkable progress under Jim McGuinness. He came in with a blueprint, and within a year and a half, he had won an All Ireland title with them. And it was probably before Jimmy's time. It was a difficult job for any manager going in to manage those bunch of players, but he got them in tune. He got them in his way of thinking, and they bought into a system and a game plan. And it's remarkable the difference that a game plan can make to any team and a system. And they have been one of the top performing teams over the last 3 years. There's no doubt about that in the country. And I still feel this year they're not playing well. They are Ulster champions. They're not playing their full potential, and maybe that might be due to the fact that there is a lot of mileage on in a lot of those legs. Likes of Carl Lacey isn't having his best season. He's still having a good season by his standards, but not his best season. Colin McFadden hasn't performed at the heights that he has done in the past, but I still think that he can come good. A class player like Colin McFadden has the potential to come good on any given day, and there's no doubt that he has the potential to raise his game against Dublin. But overall, as a team, they're relying on individuals to pull them through many games, and they're just not performing as a team as well as what they have been.
Big Gallagher in the middle of the field has been one of the stars of the season, I think, for them, but I would also question, and I suppose Jim McGuinness would say, what would I know? But I think the ordinary punter would be asking, you've one of the best forwards in the game, Michael Murphy, why is he playing centre half back?
It's a strange one. I know I've played alongside Michael Murphy. He's a fantastic full forward. He's the best full forward in the country, and it is strange to see him out around midfield. But the reality is, when Michael Murphy goes out to midfield for Donegal, he strengthens that area as well. So he's the type of player you can play him anywhere. And you look at his equalising point against Armagh at the weekend. He came from deep on the run and kicked over a fantastic score with his left foot. And if he'd done that more often from midfield, then we'd be saying, and you could really justify Jim's decision to play him out there. But Jimmy's in a difficult position because if ideally he had won two Michael Murphys, but you just don't have that luxury. And he is a fantastic asset out the field, but I'd be playing him close to goals because he has huge potential to score goals, as shown in the All Ireland final 2 years ago. And he can really tear teams apart from in there. But it's a difficult one, but I think Donegal have a strong midfield that performed extremely well against Armagh at the weekend. Neil Gallagher is an experienced campaigner. He was involved in two very important plays at the weekend. The first one was to set Odor McNeilis up with a fantastic point in the second half, and the second one was the catch at the end when Tony Kernan kicked in a free. And influential plays they got there determined the outcome of many games, and to have the experience as well. And Odor McNeilis, a young lad coming in, has had a fantastic season for me. Got a lucky goal in terms of Armagh should never have been beaten near post, but he took the goal well himself, and he kicked a couple of fantastic points as he has done throughout the year, and he's only going to go from strength to strength. He is a young player and he'll gain confidence as the year goes on. But it's a strange one to see Michael Murphy out around the middle. I'd still be playing him a lot closer to goals.
Stevie, the bookmakers normally drive big top of the range cars because they normally win, and I'm looking at the odds for the match against Dublin. Donegal, just on the ordinary match, 70 minutes, are 7-1.
Yeah.
And they're evens. Dublin are evens minus 8 points. That's incredible.
It is incredible, but every team that Dublin have played this year, they've blown them apart, and that's the harsh reality. Dublin are the benchmark in terms of football at the minute in the country. They are setting the standard, and I suppose the biggest plus that Dublin have and the biggest advantage that they have is the fact that if none of their players are performing in the starting 15, they've got a hugely strong bench that they can rely on players coming off the bench and perform at a high level. And those players on the bench would walk into almost any team in the country as well. And that's a huge advantage to them at the minute. It's not Dublin's fault. They've built this up over the last couple of years and put good structures in place as well. But the odds are there based solely on the performances that Dublin put in this year, and they are annihilating every team that's put in front of them.
The GA put massive investment into Dublin, and is it too much is it just petty jealousy from people? You know, if I raise the point, the fact that they're almost professional. You know what I mean? A lot of these lads are running around now in sponsored cars, and there's 23 of a backroom staff,
Yeah,
all presumably
listen,
getting financial remuneration for all their hard efforts. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that to them all.
there's no
but a
doubt
lot of
about
them.
that. They are almost professional, but the reality is 12, 13 years ago, Armagh and Tyrone were the benchmark, and they're almost professional at that stage, you know, in terms of their preparation and how they went about their business. And, you know, Dublin have raised the standard once again, and it's no fault due to their own. I think it's up to other counties, you know, if they want to compete at that level, they've got to look at what Dublin are doing and try to get up to those standards as well.
Will Dublin beat Donegal?
Absolutely, I have no doubt that Dublin will beat Donegal. I've said it from the start of the year. The only team capable of going man to man and matching Dublin are Mayo. I'm kind of swaying towards Kerry at the minute as well, given the form that they've been in, and looking at the quality of forwards that Kerry have. I really think that they can cause that Dublin defence a lot of problems as well. So I don't think Donegal have the ability to match this Dublin team on current form. Certainly they can squeeze the life out of them for a period of time, but ultimately, you know, the fitness, the physique and the bench that Dublin have will overrun Donegal in the end. But I think the danger is for Dublin is meeting Mayo or Kerry in the All-Ireland final, and they can be caught out then.